Early retirement is the personal goal that I hear of most these days. Among the young who are in their 30s, working for another 30 years seems very daunting. So far, it has been established that one won't work for the same employer the entire life. But not willing to work at all is something relatively new. Today, Indians are not shying away from taking a permanent break from work in their either late 40s or early 50s. This change is being led by two main reasons. The first, millennials embracing the FIRE concept. The second, choosing hobbies over simply working till the end of their life. Well, the FIRE concept basically implies choosing financial independence and retiring early. Now, this is fueled by millennials actively choosing jobs in private sector, unlike their ancestors who were mostly engaged in government services, where the retirement age was fixed. Starting an entrepreneurial venture or traveling around the world have taken a center stage these days, and many Indians are aiming to retire early to pursue either their hobbies or other passion with ease. But when you're looking at early retirement, the first question that often strikes the mind is, can it be done? Absolutely. But unless you are independently wealthy, which few people are, it will take work and discipline. So in this video, I'm going to tell you or share some of the tips on how you can retire early. What are the points that you need to take a note of? Starting with the first one is research your retirement budget. Now this basically implies that you need to assess how much do you need to live comfortably. This seems like a very easy question, but when you start to estimate the numbers, you could be surprised on how much you may actually need. Start by figuring out how you plan to live and what you want to do. Plan in such a way that you won't run out or you won't exhaust your expenses or you run out of money after first few years of your retirement. To retire early, you must plan very carefully. Now consider your daily living expenses. You can calculate how much you might need to spend annually to live comfortably. Well, there are several ways you can estimate this. The one approach is that you can accumulate about 25 to 30 times of your expected yearly expenses plus the cash to cover 1 year's worth of expenses. Another way or another approach is that you take your estimated annual expenses and you divide them by 4% to see how big your nest egg should be. The next step or the next point is that you need to tackle your current financial hurdles. Now here's where discipline comes into the picture. Many people who want to retire early, they live on 50% or less of their entire income. The remaining is used either to pay debt or to invest. Now here you have three options: spend less, earn more, or do both. If you don't get your finances in order now, you'll not be able to retire early at all. Zone in on your current financial struggles. What are your debts? What are you investing? Where are you putting your money? To prepare for living on a retirement budget, you must discover where your financial flaws are and you need to focus on overcoming them. Monitor where your money is going. Watch your spending habits and then you can get to handle your debts. The next one is set a retirement fund goal. After your research and discovering all your financial weaknesses, it's time to set a retirement fund goal to strive for. Set a time and the amount that you want to reach by that point. When you have set a goal, then you'll have to work towards achieving it. Try starting small, aiming for more obtainable goals and work towards your way up. Now, of course, if your goals always remain small, then you'll never be able to retire early. You will need to put in extra efforts to reach that end game. The next one is select investments that grows. A part of getting your finances in order should also be surrounded by selecting the right investments. You can't hope to retire early if you don't start investing. If your aim is to retire early, that means you have shorter period of time to save, and thus it makes sense that you start investing as early as possible. Now this also doesn't mean that you quickly jump into investing and you put all your money into high risk investment or venues with the hope to hit it big. Short time to save means making smart investments. Have a diverse set of investments, particularly the type that produce passive income such as real estate. Strive to max out your retirement savings and try to choose the best assets that will help you achieve that goal. The next one is handle your personal spending. Now, to retire early, you will also have to make certain sacrifices. Keep an eye on where your money is going towards, maybe towards trip, expensive shopping, concerts, etc. If you want the means to retire in the future, you must watch your spending habits now. Start being thrifty, but that also doesn't mean that you give up on your necessary expenses as well. Estimate your total savings and find the balance between what you need now and what you might need in the future. The next one is pay off extra debts. Another step towards early retirement is paying off extra debt. If you have any standing debt, make sure you get that under control so that you can keep all your retirement money. While you may have to incur debt by purchasing investments, you can balance your budget by getting rid of any extra debts you may have, such as car or student loans, credit card, or even your personal mortgage. If you aren't putting money towards those loans, you can invest those funds into your retirement. The next one is start saving. Savings, which is one of the cornerstones of personal finance, should be the mantra to be followed for early retirement. There is a saying that goes like, every penny saved is penny earned. So you must try to save every penny possible, and this can be done with much ease. Like, for instance, you can choose or you can prefer to commute via public transportation. While everyone likes personal mobility, commuting via public transportation can help you to save significantly on fuel expenditure in a long run. Add some 20 to 25 years to the savings and the amount will be huge. You can also look forward to options like hailing a shared cab to save on transportation costs. The other one is avoid impulse buying. Well, this one is a major culprit that is dangerous to your savings. Easy availability of credit and steep discounts might encourage you to make impulse purchase of items you may not need. Impulse buying can not only make your monthly budget go haywire, but also leads you towards a debt trap. Now, the solution to this is to refrain from impulse buying and make a judicious assessment when selecting products and services that you opt for. The next point is take stock of where you stand. Well, the next step is to conduct an honest assessment of where you stand and how feasible early retirement might be. It's essential that you accumulate a good amount of money by the time you retire. Now, for that, you need to invest minimum of rupees 30,000 to anywhere between rupees 1 lakh every month, depending on your age, to accumulate a retirement corpus. Now, let's assume that your expenses increase by 6% annually and your investments grow at 10%. At this rate, you will need an investment corpus of rupees 5.58 crore. Now, if you're wondering whether how much do you have to save to get there, then let me tell you. Let's say if you're 30 years old, then you need to save at least close to anywhere between rupees 16,000 every month if you increase your annual systematic investment plan amounts by 5%. But if you're say 45, then you need to save at least rupees 38,000 every month. The next one is account for healthcare and other concerns. Here's one thing that many people who dream of early retirement fail to consider. What happens next? How will you spend your time after you retire? Will you get a part-time job? Will you pursue a hobby? Will you travel the world? There are far too many possibilities to be mentioned here, all of them here. But the point is that not having a plan is one of the most common reasons people end up regretting their early retirement. So it's very important that you have a plan when it comes to healthcare as well. You need to plan where your healthcare or your health insurance will come from and how you're going to pay for it. And the last one is work with financial advisor. If you want to retire early, you have two big challenges ahead of you. First, you have less time to save for future or for retirement. The second, you have more time to spend in retirement. Unless you are a rock star investor, it's a good idea to work regularly with financial advisor. An advisor can help you to develop an investment strategy to make it much easier to reach your financial goals. They can also show you exactly how much you need to invest in every month to reach your goal within a certain number of years. Once you retire, your advisor might also help you to manage the income streams and make sure that the money lasts for a little more longer time. The income streams might include income from your dividends or required minimum distributions, social securities, defined benefit plans, and also real estate investments if you had made any. Take the aim to find an advisor who you are compatible with. So these were some of the points that might help you to retire early. While there is no harm in contemplating early retirement, but thinking through the elements of both financing it and sustaining it are quite underestimated, it would seem. Many people would like to retire early, but very few have the financial resources, planning skills, and discipline to do so. To get started, estimate your retirement expenses. Determine your target nest egg, and then you can save and invest to make that happen. So this was all about early retirement. I hope this video was quite helpful to you. For more such financial content, do subscribe to our channel and do let us know in the comments section on which financial topic would you like us to cover in our upcoming videos. Also, before going, don't forget to hit on the bell icon to get notified for our next video. Thank you for watching IndianMoney.com. Get wise, break free.